All right, bro. Welcome back to Golf and Gospel, dog. If y'all don't know, me and Nate, we filmed this like on a Sunday. So like, the RBC is like fresh in our mind right now. But before we get into that, welcome back to Golf and Gospel Podcast. I'm Geremy Davis, former NFL player, host of Golf and Gospel, and we got your PT's favorite PT, Nate Wong, former college golfer, man. We're here to talk all things golf. If that's the PGA, LIV Golf, LPGA, even I want to shout out my homies on the Epson Tour, and even I want to shout out the homies on the LPGA Legends Tour, we talk all things golf. And again, guys, like and subscribe and rate us, man. Let us know if we are trash, dog. Be like, hey, man, y'all trash, man. Y'all need to do better. Or let us know if we are doing the right thing, man. We need to hear feedback. We want to be encouraged, bro. But, Nate, usually we have an order to how we do things, but dog, let's just jump straight into the RBC, bro.
Dude.
Crazy finish. Go ahead. Let me hear your thoughts, bro.
Dude. The whole time I was like, somebody freaking go for it,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I guess Ryan Fox went for it, I don't know, the third playoff hole. Mm-hmm. And then he hit it short. And when they finally both went for it, that's how it was decided. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like when I play ping pong, so I'm not that great. It's like I just, let the other person mess up. That's what it felt like. It was just like, yo, let them mess up. But they were both too good, but not good enough to make those 20-foot birdie putts on the playoff holes. I guess Fox did it in regulation though.
Yeah, he did. Bro, I think the thing that was crazy is when you talk about Sam not going for it, he never really had to because he kept out driving Ryan. So it was like, I'm going to see what Ryan does. And then Ryan was like, you know what? Yeah, so when Ryan's like, okay, I'm going to go for this one. And Ryan didn't succeed the first time. It didn't really put pressure on Sam. Although Sam didn't even capitalize off that mess up. They went to another playoff hole. And they went through so many playoff holes, they had to move the pin, which was just crazy. And, Go ahead. You had a comment about that because we were texting about it.
Dude, I was just like, I thought they were going to – dude, it just felt like they were going to keep doing this forever. Like,
yeah.
Dude, it wasn't until when Ryan Fox hit that – did he hit 3-wood to like 5 feet or whatever?
That was pure shot.
That was
100%.
Such an amazing shot. But it wasn't until then I was like, I feel like everyone thought this was going to go on forever. Like, I thought this was going to be – I thought they were going to
No one was playing aggressive. To this point where we're talking right now.
And it was like low-key, it's like, dude, why pick that as a playoff hole? Like, pick another hole where it's like a more of a risk-reward. Well, I guess it is a risk-reward hole, but like –
because the water, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, if there was like a 300 – was there a 300-yard-ish par 4 or something like that? Like, that would have been more
probably
fun
somewhere.
To, like, I was going to say, like, if you picked like a 300-yard par 4, that would have been a great playoff hole because then it's like risk-reward. You go for it. You try to hit driver, you try to lay up or something like that. But yeah,
I think the reason why. Aggressive. Yeah, I think the reason why they kept it at 18 because it's a good closing hole. All the stands are there, the fans are there.
Yeah, it's close.
Because I don't know if it was again. I'll be talking to three of y'all as I watch golf. It's either you, Chris Elliott, or Noah Reid. I don't remember if it was Chris or Noah who was like, bro, it might be Noah. He was like, why don't they move it the hole, man? It could be better holes now. And I was like, yeah. It could, but I think because the stands are set up the way it's closing, everything's right there, and I think
and everybody walks off the course already.
And then do you
everybody
want to hole 7? Yeah, like hole 7's the best one. Let's all walk over to hole 7 while the players get driven in carts over to hole 7. They're not gonna wait up for you. So at that point, it was just like just let it finish out, man. But hey, dog, shout out to Ryan Fox, man, for lack of better words, coming up clutch because that to force the playoff, that was a clutch putt, man.
That was a clutch putt, and that was an amazing dude. And I felt bad for Sam Burns because I felt like he was done at 1 o'clock our time, and he was just sitting there like clubhouse leader, like, and it didn't seem like anyone was going to contend. No one thought. At least I didn't think it was me, Ryan Fox. Because just people kept coming after, like one group after another, coming up on 18. Like this guy needs to eagle, this guy needs to birdie or whatever, and they just kept coming up short. Like Cam Young hit it.
Young sent it. Yep.
Way off. Kevin Yu needed to eagle, so like it just. It just felt like it wasn't going to happen. Yeah, he had a chip. Yeah, exactly. So it just felt like it was never going to happen. So.
Yeah. The other thing that sucks too, man, like, great point, because Sam Burns was done early. So you had to wait like an hour, hour and a half, bro. And the conditions were different later on than it was when he finished. Less wind at that time. Now, granted, I think granted, Sam still held his own for the most part, you know, in that playoff. He just, for being the number one putter on the tour, bro, he was not really, I don't know if nerves got him. He wasn't really aggressive, you know, going for it. And
yeah, well, I will say this: it's different being the number one putter on tour when you're playing for 20th. No offense, like, dude, seriously mean no offense to Sam at all. It's different being the number one putter when you're putting for 20th versus if you're putting to win the U.S. Open or I guess the PGA or the Masters so far this year. For sure. So no, I mean this to no offense. Like, I still have a ton of respect. The situations matter, and for all I know, he could be clutch, but based off this playoff run, you know, I really thought some of those putts were going to fall. Granted, the conditions were different. So, in his defense, like, it looked wetter in the morning, you know. It looked wetter.
I can see that, yeah.
Damper in the morning versus compared to the afternoon. It looked like things firmed up a little bit. But, I mean, I don't know. Just as a it looked like the sun came out and everything, you know. Yeah.
The other thing that sucked, there was a huge emphasis on how the Americans have not won the RBC Canadian in the past 12 or 13 years. I think the last time Americans won were, I think it was 2018, Dustin Johnson, or 2016 or 2018 it was Dustin Johnson, and then before that it was Brent Snedeker, 2013. So we're like, okay, Sam Burns, you're our last hope, you know, to win on Canadian soil. And but at the same time, people was like, man, if Cam Young makes the playoff, then, you know, Americans will definitely, you know, get us at least a victory here. But Cam Young kind of folded, to say, lack of better words.
Like duffed that chip on 18.
Yep. And then Ryan Fox comes. It's like, dang, Ryan Fox is from New Zealand. So now you have a little bit of, and he had a whole bunch of fans there. Like, New Zealand soccer team was there just rooting him on, man. So he had like a little home field advantage to a degree. Yeah. And it came in clutch for him, man. But I felt really bad for Sam, man.
But
to Sam's credit though, he was quote saying this. Well, this is what the announcers were saying. They said Sam Burns' iron play was costing him a higher status, like in terms of like ranking, which we knew that, because he said if he would have switched anything with Scottie, it would be his irons, which I think majority of the PGA would do that. But that's what he said with Scottie.
It's also because his irons were like his driver is fine, you know.
Oh yeah, it's one of the longest hitters on the tour. Yeah. And then they were talking about how he's losing half a shot per round on approach, so that makes total sense. Yeah, total sense, bro. But he also was talking about how, like, essentially stopped overthinking his irons and he started to play a lot better. We see that day 4, he ended up shooting 62, 8 under, which actually I think that beat Scottie Scheffler for 4th round scoring after what Scottie did at the Byron Nelson. So Sam Burns is starting to get in the groove of his irons. I think this is really good play for him going into a U.S. Open. I know this is going to be heartbreaking, but you got to have a quick turnaround, get over it, bro. He did really good putting, for lack of better words, again, even though he didn't show it in the playoff. Made 22 birdies this week, was tied for 2nd. But one thing I want to talk about, which is not going to be popular to the audience, but because I'm going to say this. I hate when people be like, hey, yo, that's my dog, bro. Like when you just play golf with them once and hung out. But, like, I'm pretty cordial with Andrew Putnam. And, dog, I was so happy with what Putnam did on day 2. Because he shot a 62, and nobody like batted an eye at all. Like, he had the low round, and PGA didn't say nothing about it. ESPN didn't say nothing about it. Golf Channel, I'm just like, we know Putnam just shot a 62, right? Like, are we going to say anything? I was hoping it's going to get to the point where he continued that on the 3rd day, because I wanted to see Putnam in the final pairing group just to see him get more airtime. I think the Golf Channels will show him a little bit more, but Putnam played really, really good, man. I think this is definitely confidence for his game. When I first met Putnam, bro, I think it had to be FedEx Cup points. I think he was like a top 35 player, bro. So, go ahead.
I think I texted you this, but, like, when I was in high school getting recruited, like, everybody knew who Putnam was. I think he was like a top 5, or he might have been the number 1 college player in the country. And, dude, I think it was like 2011 or 2010 when he graduated. But dude, we're
kind of
so
same
good.
age. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so good in college. Not that he's probably better now, but
for sure. Yeah.
It's just the tour is so saturated, But he was so good in college, and it's like weird because like if PGA Tour U was a thing back in the day, like he would have been all over Golf Channel. He would have been like that Auburn kid or God, who's the guy that got signed by LIV recently?
We'll talk about it. Josele.
No, the other guy.
Oh, Caleb Sarant.
Caleb Sarant, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But no, shout out to Putnam, man. Finished with a solid T6. I think this is one of his higher finishes this year. Really good showing.
Way to go, Andrew. Let's go.
Shout out to the Pepperdines finest. Also, too, man, Cameron Champ, he was leading, I think, day one, day two, man, which shows a good showing for him because I didn't realize that he splits time between Korn Ferry and the PGA, despite having three.
Did he really?
Yeah, despite having 3 wins, bro. He came out there finishing off with 14 under. Obviously, the winner shot 18 under, so it was a good showing for him. But also, Nate, I want to talk about this too, man. There were some missed cuts. I always like to talk about some surprise cuts and like who was the most surprising to you, man. So we had Max Homa, Tom Kim, Justin Rose, Doug Gim, Rory McIlroy, which this is probably obvious. Frankie Cappan the third. Yeah, Luke Clayton, David Ford, Joel Damon, or Gary Woodland. So again, who's the most surprising? I mean, or I might as well just say we might as well just talk about Rory now at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, with Rory, it's not necessarily surprising that he missed the cut, but it's that he shot +9.
That's bad.
Like that.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a loss for words. And like the other thing too is like you're going into a major. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, one that you barely lost to your rival, for lack of better words, LIV Golf. Like you hope he will perform a little bit better.
So like this U.S. Open, it's almost like because he's obviously not defending a title, but it kind of feels like Rory has to make a statement in this U.S. Open.
Right.
This showing, I don't know, it's just not great. But if it was me, I'd be like, yo, I'm just getting all the bad shots out before I go over to Oakmont.
Yeah,
but
100%.
I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking, what's going on in his mind after this +9 performance after 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, we look at the last 3 weeks for Rory. Go back to the PGA Championships, had the issue with the non-conforming driver. Then the following week, he skipped out on the Memorial. Couldn't even pick up the phone when Jack called. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? That's why I got a problem with him right there, bro. Like, what are we doing, man? Pick up the phone for Jack, bro. Tripping, bro.
I know.
And then he missed the weekend at the RBC this week. So again, this was his first miscut since last July. And but he did say this after day one. He said driving was pretty solid, and he said he feels comfortable with this new driver. Now, a lot of people who aren't like avid fans of golf or play the sport will think like, okay, yeah, your TaylorMade was messed up. Just get your same TaylorMade built, and you should be fine, right? But there are a lot of things like that goes into like hitting a new club that people don't understand. And one thing they were talking about like on the Golf Channel was like you got optics, how it looks.
Yep.
The sound has an effect on your swing, the feel, and it's like a lot of things are going on. So, but yeah, I think this also in regards to that too. This goes back to what you were saying our previous week. Is like I wonder if Rory's just trying to like get some feels out there to like prep himself for the U.S. Open. He's not going to play aggressive. He just wants to get used to the new driver. Maybe. We don't know. Or maybe he went out there and tried to play
in a tournament situation.
Yeah, maybe he did try to play really well, and it's like, dang, he's stinking it up right now. But, yeah, it was a surprise to see Rory miss the cut. I don't think, unless I'm missing something, there was much news on his reason for skipping the Memorial. I would really want to know why because, again, because it's Jack Nicklaus, because you're a Hall of Fame golfer, I think you can at least pay some respects to your reasoning for not missing. And maybe it's something private, which, again, we're not here to speculate on people's private life, but it's just like, dog, why would you miss out on a signature event like the Memorial?
Yeah, I don't even think he gave a statement like, yo, I have some personal matters to attend to.
Yeah.
Like, so Yeah, highly questionable. But you're absolutely right with like the driver and like, dude, optics matter so much, and like the feel matters. And so actually, when I went to go get fitted at Ping, like when I went to go to their lab, they were like, so back in the day, like driver shafts were like really flashy. They had like stuff all over it, you know, and flowers and stuff like that.
Yep.
And my club fit, like now the shafts they're still kind of cool, you know, but the club fitters are like the top of the shaft. That's why there's like designated right-handed and left-handed shafts now, is because the top of the shaft they want it to be like as plain as possible, because if you're facing the logo, it distracts golfers. And like they like done studies on like if the shaft is like facing you. Actually, I'm gonna grab my club real quick.
Grab one, bro. That'd be sick. Let you guys know. Again, like, subscribe, rate us on Spotify. Also, Nate is left-handed, so be prepared to look at this shab and club face.
Shoot, there's like sunlight. So you see how like it has a logo right here, but then the backside is plain.
Blank. Yep.
So when you flip it over, like the plus minus thing right here, change, you know.
Yep, loft stuff. Yep.
So like the plus minus or hook or draw is gonna change.
Right.
So that's why like the logo's on one side, but then the other side is blank, and that's how you know if it's left-handed or right-handed. So like.
Interesting. Nice. Never knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But like when the logo is up like this and you're looking down at the logo, it can distract you.
Distracting.
And it's been shown to like actually mess with people's shots.
Wow. Yeah. Who's the first one to figure that out?
I don't know who figured it out.
Yeah.
I don't know
who made the statement like, "Hey man, how about like who was the first golfer like, hey man, let's move this thing out the way. Like this is kind of distracting."
I have no idea.
Obviously, golf companies want to know, like, well, my logo has to go on it somewhere for you can know that you're hitting with Ping, you're hitting with Cobra, you're hitting with Tyler, you're hitting with TaylorMade. So,
yeah,
good point. Yeah,
but I forgot how do we get on that tangent, but
we were talking about Rory's driver and stuff like that.
Sorry, that's just like things about equipment to think about. So like, my point was like optics matters. Like when you're looking at a driver and you like don't like how it looks. Or if you looking at irons, like I forget, I think Ping came out with irons that like were blades, but they didn't look like blades when you're looking down on it or something like that. Yeah. So then you like feel like more comfortable with it. Yeah, it's a real thing though. Yeah.
I'm not trying to hit no blades, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's just very interesting, bro. But again, shout out to Ryan Fox for winning the RBC Canadian Open. This is his second win in 4 starts. So that is that's a good ratio to have, man. But, guys, let's also move over to some women golf news. I respect women's golf as well as Nate, man. So, again, we're going to go over to the Epson Tour. I want to say shout out to the homie Carly Cox Pruitt. One of a good friend of mine, man, trying to get her on Golf and Gospel in the future, man. She took the hard route this week, had to get in as an alternate, played great golf to get into the field. Nice. So I'm really happy to see that. I hope that, she can be part of the reshuffle so she can get back on tour on a more consistent status for her. So, again, shout out to Carly Cox Pruitt. Also, again, shout out to Sophia Hosman. We talked about her last week making the cut, shooting +8 at the Women's U.S. Open. Solid showing for the Epson Tour star. She came in at 3rd this week at the Epson Tour.
Oh, wow.
Meet close. This week, yeah. But ultimately, though, I do want to say congratulations. I don't know her. I've seen her a few times with, my relationship with the Epson Tour pros. Samantha Wagner getting her first victory on the Epson Tour, her first win this year, to add to her amazing 18 career top 10s, man. So it was a good time for her to get a win. Yeah. Good. Shout out to Samantha. Yeah. There is a Savannah on the Epson Tour, but no, it wasn't her, man. Next, we want to talk about the LPGA's Legends Tour. If you guys tuned in last week and the week before when we had Tracy Hansen and Lita Lilly on, they are part of the LPGA Legends Tour. It was a 2-player scramble event this week. Shout out to Becky Morgan and Katrana Matthew winning with 26 under in the scramble event again, guys. Scramble. Wow. Winning by 2 strokes, so it was a good win for them. And lastly, going into the LPGA, the pairing group day one, I'm sure you've seen this. It was Nelly, Maya Starks, and Mal Sago. And I was like,
that's right.
I was like, that's a high
after
key,
the U.S. Open, yeah,
that is a high key lethal group if you follow LPGA golf, bro. And it's crazy because I'm like, man, people who maybe are avid women's golf watchers. That's it, right? Avid women's
or
golf watching?
Casual.
I don't know. Casual, yeah. Or avid. Well, yeah, casual. Yeah, I'm tripping. You look at that group and you say, if you had to pick out those three, who are going to win? A lot of people might say Nelly.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Nelly because I went on a tangent talking about this other golfer who I think is LPGA Golf of the Year, and I'm going to stand by that because she finished with a solid T5. It's Mal Sago, man, because Maya Starks unfortunately missed the cut. Nelly finished with a solid T15, but she's still winless this year. But Mal Sago has just been playing really, really good golf, man.
She's up there for every event.
As of lately, she really has. In the beginning, she probably had missed maybe one or two cuts, but had like some 35s, some 25s. But lately, bro, she just been playing amazing, dog. I think she has maybe one or two more wins in her this year if she continues to play on the way she's been playing, especially the way she's been playing in majors and stuff, dog. Like, Mal Sago, again, I think it's the LPGA Golf of the Year thus far. Still plenty of golf left. Yeah.
Well, it's also like if you win the Chevron, like people, I feel like people don't understand. I feel like the Chevron is the equivalent of the Masters.
It is, yes.
To LPGA because it's got like it's a major and it's got like the highest reverence and it's got. Yep. I don't want to say like the Masters are the most tradition because like the Open exists as well, but there's a lot of tradition with the Masters and a lot of reverence. Whereas the Chevron, I feel like, is the equivalent of that to LPGA. Whereas other ones are kind of like they're really cool, but
I love the iconic. I love the iconic jumping in the lake after.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's super sick, man. But again, even though I'm a huge fan of Mal Sago, we want to say shout out to Jennifer Kupcho for getting a win this week, picking up her first win this year and her first win since 2022, where she actually had all three of her wins in 2022. So it's been a while.
Such a dominant year that year for her. Yeah.
And one including the Chevron Championship, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see if she
I think she lives in Arizona.
Does she? Well,
I think so. I'm not positive, but I
watch we come to look this up. She lives like in Florida.
Yeah. Or like Dallas or something. But
somewhere, bro. Yeah, one of those Gulf states, right? But shout out to Jennifer Kupcho, man. That's a huge victory, especially when we talk about going back to the PGA guys like Justin Thomas, who finally got back in winner circles after like a 3-year hiatus. Sam Burns was close today. He hasn't been in the winner circle since 2023. Like it's
Rory, Yeah,
at least from a major standpoint, because I think he won the Tour Championship 2 years ago. Because he beat Scottie 2 years ago, I think. Last year he didn't.
Yeah, I thought he won something last year too.
Zurich.
Yeah,
he did. Now let's move over to LIV, and I'm happy because you said you had some comments about this. U.S. Amateur Champion and ASU standout Josele Ballester signs with Sergio Garcia's Fireball team. What were your thoughts about this, bro?
Dude, I mean, good for him. I feel like it's really daunting to look at. It's kind of like my best analogy is like, do you remember like in college when like the beginning of the semester when the it's like syllabus week or whatever, and they lay out like everything you have to do. Yeah, they lay out everything you have to do for the semester, and you're like, dang, we got to do all that this semester? Like, holy crap. And obviously, like, you get through it, and it's fine, right? But it's like that first week, they're just, like, talking about all these things you have to do. You have, like, 3 papers, 4 tests, all these assignments, and we have to go through this many units of whatever the textbook is, I feel like for, what was his name?
Josele Ballester.
Josele, I feel like for him, it's like, as the number 1 amateur in the world, he's probably looking at Q School or mini tours and looking at this like daunting kind of gauntlet of stuff to do to make it on tour. And he's like, well, there's this free out right here where I'm playing professional golf. The money is secure, right? And for the most part, your travel is, I think, mostly arranged when you're on the LIV tour. Whereas when you're on the PGA, you have to figure that out yourself. So I think he's looking at all these things with the tour. I don't know. I'm not in his head. I've never talked to this guy too. But,
100%. ASU guy.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking he's looking at all these things and looking at the grind of the mini tour. And he's just like, yo, easy out. easy money. I'm still playing against Bryson and Rahm and Waco,
Niemann.
you know.
Yeah.
So he's still playing against some, and Phil, like he's still playing against a legend of the game, and you know he's probably hanging out with Greg Norman, right?
Who
did you know? Yeah. Did you want to know something crazy? Did you know the longest consecutive weeks at world number 1 was Tiger?
Yeah.
Guess who's number 2?
Is it Greg Norman? I'm assuming.
Greg freaking Norman, dude. How about that?
But he could just never like cash out on certain tournaments. Wait, it's like he never won a Masters, right? He had like maybe 1 or 2 chances to get it and didn't get it. Or am I wrong? I think I'm right.
Greg?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. I can't remember his career. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. So I just think with Josele, like I bet that's probably what he was thinking. And I don't want to say it's like an easy out, like he's lazy or anything like that. But it's just thinking about like the person behind it and like, hey,
you can reap your rewards earlier than waiting.
Yeah, like, well, one of my friends, because I remember, like, when I was trying to decide, like, what colleges to go to, I'm like, well, I want to go to a good school, and I want to, like, try to fight for a starting job, you know? And then one of my friends was like, dude, don't go to a school where you have to fight for your starting job. Go somewhere where you can play. And I'm like, no, but I want to work for it, and I feel like the grind is where I'm going to grow. Yeah. And then my buddy goes, well, it's like saying this. It's like, if someone's going to give you $1 million, do you want to be like, nah, I want to work for it and have earned it? Or do I want to just take it, you know? And I feel like you're not any less of a man or a person if you just like, I'll just take it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I see the yes and no in that because, like, obviously me knowing you, Nate, you have a work ethic. If someone's like, give you $1 million, I'm like, you know what? Nate's going to do right by that $1 million. But there are some people who have terrible work ethics and are super lazy.
Oh, yeah.
I would be like, I don't want to hate on anybody, but it's like, man, like, how did this $1 million fall into that lap? But I get what you're saying with that analogy, bro. But Greg Norman did not win the Masters. I was right. He got so many second places. Second place in the Masters, second place in the PGA Championship, second place in U.S. Open, and only won the Open. So, yeah, he was number 1 a lot, but he just couldn't cash in at the majors, bro. Yeah, he could not cash in at the majors at all. Yeah, but, I mean, I think it's a good point, too, man. The next thing I want to kind of talk about, too, is, like, how do we feel that LIV, I don't think poach is the right word, because I'm obviously the player has a decision if they want to go to LIV or PGA, but, like, how do we feel about, you know, getting young stars like this, guys who are number 1 amateurs? Because that's the same thing I said with Caleb Sarant. He left the University of Tennessee, went to sign with John Rahm's team, what's John Rahm's team? I don't really follow the team. I just follow the players. But
yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about? I guess you kind of already emphasized on it, like players going to LIV over PGA, because like people get stuck in the Korn Ferry, get stuck on many tours, and they're probably tired of paying to play golf with like no guarantee that they're going to make the PGA Tour. Like obviously you want to believe in your skill set, believe in your talents, but it's like I remember one time we had Emma Talley on Golf and Gospel. She's awesome. Go check out the episode, guys. She talked about, like, man, it's hard to win on tour, like, because everything has to just be clicking that day. Like, you got to make sure, like, little stuff like my stomach feels good that day, or hopefully, like, my allergies aren't bothering me and stuff like that. And and as opposed to waiting to see, like, if you just feel great that day, which that's just sports in general, because that stuff can happen. It's like, man, let me just go somewhere where I have a security, I can play golf, and even if I'm feeling sick, it's not as detrimental because I still have a roster spot, as opposed to like many tours. Like if I don't play good, it's like, dang, now I gotta get ready for this next tournament and hopefully feel good this day.
Yeah, it's like you missed the cut. I just lost money this week because you paid $2,000 to travel, and you have a whole thing, like you probably have other stuff you're paying for, like PT or whatever, and Yeah, I remember one of my friends played on the Korn Ferry for 4 years in a row. Made it through Q school 4 years in a row. Which is so impressive.
Yeah, it's super impressive.
Because there's like 5 stages of Q school, and then and it used to be, I don't know if it was, I think it was one of the years for him, but it used to be that the last stage of Q school was 10 rounds in a freaking row. And you have to and then I think like top 40 or whatever.
Yeah.
Get like full status, and then the next however many get partial or whatever.
Right.
But he made the top 40 for 4 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, that's just crazy. And he was like, yeah. So he quit playing professional golf, and dude, one of the most talented golfers I ever played with, and he was just saying how like it's not the golf. Like I don't mind golfing for a living, and I don't mind playing. It was just like week to week, you know, especially if you're on mini tour, even Corn Ferry. It's like, yo, I have a friend that lives in Kansas. Can I just crash on your couch? Because that saves the overhead for me. And you're doing that week to week, and it's just not the most conducive way to build, you know, build yourself like yourself outside of being a golfer, you know.
That makes sense, bro. A long time ago, I won't say a long time ago, but early golf and gospel days, I had a female mini tour pro. Her name was Christiana Siaska. She talked about stuff like that, like, oh, maybe getting a friend and like carpooling together to help us save on gas and splitting the hotel and doing all this stuff, bro. And like, it's exhausting. Now, granted, like when you make it, it's like, dog, it was worth it. But just like in all other sports, a lot of people don't make it.
Yeah, most people don't. Yeah,
most people don't. Now, granted, we're not saying that everyone has the opportunity to go to a LIV or anything like that, but in saying all that, maybe that's what Ballester was thinking too. And I also was thinking this too, bro. I feel like he matches even though I don't think so, but like the bad boy mentality of LIV Golf, because what he did at the Masters, like he like urinated like on one of the holes. Yeah. So he like matches like that bad boy LIV type. Now I think obviously LIV still has some etiquette. They wouldn't do that, but like I'm like, dog, you definitely you match the aura that they kind of have this perception of displaying and stuff. Even though I wouldn't say they're bad people at all, but
but like just more like edgy, you know, like you're not like this suit and tie. You're more of like, as Colin Cowherd to say, the backwards hat wearing guy. Like But it's just crazy the grind that you have to do, even on Corn Ferry and Epson. Like if you're getting like 40th or 50th and you're making cuts, like on the LPGA, if you make cuts, you might make
not that much.
If you barely make the cut, you might make $3,000 that weekend. You know. After you spent half of that money.
You hope you broke even or something like. Yeah,
and then you got to pay your caddy. So I mean, like there's still. I mean, obviously it's like they're playing golf for a living, but it's like, dude, the grind is hard,
fun.
And that and the grind is hard, and dude, it's the travel can get, and we talked about this on other episodes, but it's like, dude, the travel can get really lonely. If you want to like start a family or like build a community, that's really tough to do locally, right? Right. Like if you want to build a local community, but you're just everywhere every weekend. That's tough to do.
It is, bro. It is. But congrats to him, man. That's life changing for him. Other LIV news, Joaquin Nieman gets his 4th victory on LIV, bro. And I have a problem with this because I am a Joaquin Nieman fan. Obviously, the first 2 majors we predicted, I always have Joaquin Nieman in there. And he does this every time. He teases me at LIV prior to majors, and it makes me want to pick him every single time. Then he comes to the majors, doesn't do too hot, and then he finishes like maybe like a T26, T15, but it's just like,
hey, he usually has one hot day though. So.
Yeah, he does. And that teases me too. I'm like, he's finally about to do it, but he just doesn't pull it off. But so far, I would say out of everybody that we've named that won today, well, I guess not Ryan Fox actually, but I was gonna say he's the only person that's a repeated winner this year. But shout out to Joaquin Nieman, man, 4th victory this year. At this point, you're just kind of hoping that it transfers into the U.S. Open coming up. But yeah, dog, Joaquin Nieman, he teases me every time, bro, because I really just want to see him like, pull this thing out, bro. But
I would say, what do you think about like how LIV like broadcasts everything and stuff like that?
I love watching LIV, bro. I love the layout of how it looks. It's still good golf. For lack of better words, I feel like I said that like 4 times today, but they showcase everyone, which is cool. It's just not so fixated on just one player. Now, I get it at times you kind of want to just like, I just want to see Bryson. I don't really care about the 4th guy on the
like Martin
Fireball
or whatever.
Yeah. But I love the layout of it, man. I think it's super cool. It's fun to watch. I'm happy they're on FS1 or Fox Sports. The same thing, right? I think it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
On Fox Sports 1.
it definitely is like more flashy, like you say, or like bad boy.
It's different.
Like controversial, dude. Because like the flyover, like in a regular PGA Tour flyover, it's like here, and like it just goes right over the fairway, and then it goes up to the green, and then it kind of like shows the green where it breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
dude. The LIV flyover is like a drone, and it's just like zigzagging, and it flies circles around the green, and then it tilts, and then it like it's just like so. It's a way different way to watch golf, and I think that's what they want to do. Like that's
for sure.
They want to make it more flashy and
I even like the
weird,
stuff
dude.
on the. I even like the stuff on the green, like when they show you like where the golfer's aimed and where the break point is.
Dude, the aim point,
I love that. I think that's cool.
No, like there's good. Like what I don't like is how the scoreboard is on the left, and I can't like see like what. It's not like laid out like CBS. So I guess it's not like it's. I don't want to say it's worse. I just don't like it, and I'm not used to it.
You know, it's weird.
It's not like CBS.
I highly like it because it kind of reminds me of like the old like Top 10 Sports Center. You know, you used to have the little things on the side.
Oh, that ticker on
so,
the right.
So I kind of like it. It feels a little nostalgic to me, even though that's not fully what it is. But I do like that because it makes me think about like second, third grade watching Top 10 Sports Center.
Yeah, dude, their stats. Their stats and stuff is their stats team, or like when they like pop up like stuff on the screens, like on the bottom corner. I think it's better than CBS, but like it's just
hot take.
Yeah, dude. The other it's just good. They're just good and bad. Like I don't like how they're like they got 12 to go. They have 13 to go. You know, like I just want to know how many holes they're like, what hole they're on, that kind of stuff.
Well, I guess you can because shotgun start. I mean, I guess you could.
Is this shotgun start?
Yeah, LIV shotgun start. They all start at the same time. Yeah, so now it's like, all right, they have 4 more holes to go as opposed to like, they're on hole. Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm an idiot. Yeah. Okay, that's
you're good.
Then they're justified in that.
There you go. Also, in other news, with Joaquin Niemann winning, I saw a post that said when he was on the PGA, I think he made $15.3 million, which is a lot. But since joining LIV in 2022, he's made $53.5 million. So pretty good pay raise there.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but granted though, I don't know how many times he would have won on the PGA, but he's still winning. So it's not like, oh, he's not even earning it. And he's like getting, last place, but he made $50 million. It's like he's winning. And I think that's more respectable as opposed to saying like, oh, it's just handed to him. So he's earning that 53.5. I'm only saying that just in case someone's like, well, he's signed, they just get contracts. But it's like, no, Joaquin is winning tournaments. He has a total of six LIV victories and 4 this year, bro. So he's a respectable.
Won several times this year.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you gotta think about it like this. So he's probably working half as hard because like he plays 3 days.
3 days. Yep. It's not every weekend.
I think there are less tournaments.
Yes,
the schedule. Like
right now, they've only played like maybe 10, 8 or 10 tournaments this year so far.
8 events this year.
Oh, okay, 8. Okay, yeah.
And like how many events have happened on tour, right? So like,
yeah. That makes it even more crazy, dog. 8 events, and Joaquin Nieman has won 4 of them, bro. He's won half.
Half of the.
Now this is an aggressive statement. It's an aggressive statement. When we talk about, it's easy money to bet Scottie, it's easy money to bet Joaquin Nieman.
But it's even easier to bet Joaquin, dude.
It's even easier to bet Joaquin Nieman to win over Scottie. In regards to LIV and PGA. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I think it's just very way I can transfer into this too. So obviously going back to the Scottie take I had last week, a lot of people on TikTok, YouTube, came from my head, wanting to stone me, bro. All because I simply said Scottie is playing amazing, boring golf, and he doesn't have to outduel anybody. And my reason for saying he doesn't have to outduel anybody is because other players are making mistakes. So there's no stress factor or sense of urgency for him to be like, dang, I got to knock this into 5 feet. Now, granted, me and you said this last week too, Nate. We said if he had to pull it off, he can pull it off, bro.
He absolutely can pull it off.
He can pull it off, bro. But everyone came from my neck because I think we glorify Scottie too much, idolize him. And obviously, from the gospel aspect, we should be idolizing the one true king, which is Jesus Christ. However, the stands, bro, that was just gross, bro. Like, y'all came for my neck because I didn't glorify him in the way y'all wanted me to, because I didn't even say anything bad, dog. I literally said he's playing great, boring golf when he doesn't have to outdo anybody because other players are making mistakes. And y'all got mad about that. Like, what are we talking about? I know Scottie's number one golfer in the world. I know official world golf rankings, FedEx Cup points. He has 3 wins this year, 1 being a major, 1 being the signature event. Tied the lowest round, or he had the lowest day 4 round, and he tied the lowest overall score with the Decky at the Byron Nelson. I'm not stupid, dog. Like, I know he's a dog, but y'all want to get mad because I say he's not outdueling anybody because I was putting the pressure for him to outduel anyone. Like, that was crazy to me, bro. They came for my neck. Dude, so my crazy. Neck, bro. I'm just like, these dudes are about to stone me. Now, to respectfully, the people who watched that video and they knew golf, they knew what I was talking about, bro. They was like, yeah, that makes sense. But they was like, boring golf is good golf. And I'm like, I agree. It is. And he's doing a great job at it.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, but other
and
people
his boring golf is so much better than everyone's, like, average or, like, good. They're great golf. Like,
yes.
And that's what you want to be. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you want to have these easy wins. You want to be like what Lita Lindley said, like, just, hey, I'm just going to play golf, and if they give me the trophy at the end, then I get the trophy, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want contention as a player. You just want easy victories.
Yeah.
But then as viewers, you know, because we're the ones outside of the arena in the stands watching him.
Yeah,
we want there to be some conflict, so then it makes it more interesting.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
someone
put some pressure on him. That's all. And why would y'all not want that? Don't y'all want to see, like, what we watched today at the RBC, bro? I want to see that all the time.
That's what we wanted. Yes.
And honestly, Scottie probably would still come out victorious, which wouldn't surprise me. I would expect that. But I want to see him
playoff.
I want to see him in that press situation.
Yes. Yeah, we want to see if that, like, makes or break him. And that's why, like, Tom Brady is great. Is like, fourth quarter, we want to see
him down 28-3 to the Falcons. Yeah,
we want to see what he's going to do with the ball in his hands when it's a very contentious moment. And just like Scottie, it's like, how does he hit this tee shot? How does he play this hole when he's tied or he's down 1? And that's why Tiger was so great when he was down 2.
Oh, clutch factor,
like in 2006 or something like that. And he makes an eagle to force a playoff and then wins like the U.S. Open or whatever.
I remember that. Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's why we say Tiger is the GOAT and not Scottie, because he wins in these contentious moments.
Yes.
Whereas when Scottie just wins and he 4 putts to win by 4, still.
Yeah.
That's still, it's not super fun. It's not.
That's all we're saying. It's not fun. It's
not
it's
defining
good golf.
moment.
Yes, it's good. It's good golf.
It's great golf. It's amazing golf. It's amazing golf.
Yeah.
If anything, it's even better golf than what we're used to. But it's just like these defining moments. I feel like is why we watch sports. Outside of golf and other, or any kind of competition, right? And we just don't see a lot of that, at least anymore, with Scottie.
Yeah, at all. And again, to his credit, he's a dog. But he's just. I'm gonna stick to my word. I don't see him simply outdueling people because other players are messing up. But he's incredible. Again, number 1 official world golf rankings, FedEx Cup points, wins. They said he has more victories than Spieth in the last 40 months, more top 10s than Max Homa, and was it more? Maybe it was top 5s than Jason Day, and more.
I think it's like more major wins than Phil or something like that.
Then, I don't know about major wins because he has 3. Phil has 3 Masters. He has, I think, but he said more career earnings.
Something.
More career earnings than Phil.
It might have been that,
Yeah, but my only pushback with that one is like the purses change, so we never know what Phil. If he was in this purse in his prime, what he'll been making at the time. That's the only pushback I had. But again, guys, if Scottie stands, chill out, bro. Stop idolizing him. You can admire his game. You can have a reverence for how he's playing for sure. But don't idolize him, bro. And I encourage everybody to idolize the one true king. But this is a good transition going into the U.S. Open this week at Oakmont in Pennsylvania. We see that this course is 7,372 yards long. It will play as a par 70 with only 2 par 5s. Yes. And the keys to winning this week, looking at the course, is accuracy. Those roughs are super thick, so it's narrow fairways. And even though there are very few trees, which is crazy, the other thing, we got to make sure you're avoiding numerous amounts of bunkers. You got those church pews there at Oakmont, which can be
that's like the iconic,
a bit difficult. Yeah, it can be a bit difficult, man. And it's also interesting too. No water hazards. Now, yes, there are confounding drainage ditches that can come into play on about half of the holes, but the challenge comes from elevation change, slick greens, and they said that this is home to some of the most undulating and punishing greens in golf, man. So those are some of the
every U.S. Open, though.
They do. But I think with Oakmont that makes a lot of sense. But I do want to talk about this, bro. Obviously, qualifying for the U.S. Open, there were quite a few players that had to qualify, and I want to get into Max Homa and Cam Young. We saw Max Homa carrying his own bag, and I'm just like, dog, I don't know what happened between him and his caddy, and I'm saying this as a Max Homa fan, but I'm like, dog, was it worth it trying to get on the U.S. Open? Because I think carrying your bag adds another layer of endurance because you're playing 36 holes. And it's just like, dog, was letting your caddy go worth it? Now, again, it could be he could have did something crazy, and it's like, yeah, that's warranted, bro. You should fire that dude. Yeah. But do you think him having to carry his bag maybe played a part of him not making it? Because, spoiler alert, guys, he ended up 3-putting his last hole, which ended up forcing that playoff with Cam Young, which he then lost, which now Max Homa misses out on participating in the U.S. Open.
Oh, really? I knew he missed it by one. So
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like in college, we have to walk 36 holes. So
yeah,
and he played a lot in college, probably. So I don't. But it's also like, dude, when you're so used to not playing, or not carrying your bag, I feel like that does add another layer because it's not like, oh, have you done it before? It's more like, what are you used to?
Yeah, what muscle memory have you built up lately doing this? Yeah. And in college, sometimes y'all carry, or can y'all use carts? Not like driving carts, but like the push carts. No push carts? I think.
Oh, you can't use push carts.
Yeah.
Even guys, like some guys will use push carts. Mm-hmm. You just got to get over people thinking less of you because you're using a push cart.
It's a pride thing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But one of my teammates had zero cares, and he would always push a push cart, but he balled. Like he was a good player. So
yeah. Now my thing with him carrying his bag, it's a what if situation because it's like he pretty much had the victory in the bag if he didn't 3-putt that last hole. So it's almost like that one extra putt cost him a U.S. Open because he lost to Cam Young in the playoff, which that's debatable, right? Mm-hmm. But I think they say this is Max Homa's first time missing U.S. Open since I think 2019, bro. But not only that, there are other notable names who missed the U.S. Open: Ricky Fowler, Sergio Garcia, Adam Hadwin, Nicola Hojgaard, Max Homa, Jake Knapp, and Zach Johnson. Obviously, we just talked about Max Homa. Is there a name on here that's most surprising to you?
Dude,
or maybe it's like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of like, because some of these guys are, like a Hojgaard, Nikolai Hojgaard was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, his brother's playing better than him.
What's his name?
I can't remember. Yeah, twins. But
he's a really good player. So I think that it's just like when it comes to like Sergio or ZJ, you're kind of like, well, they were good.
Yeah. You're almost starting to categorize Ricky Fowler in that same sense too. Like,
dude, I hate to do it because Ricky Fowler is young still. He's still young
for golf. For golf, yeah, he's 37, 36, 37. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still, but I don't know. Like Ricky just hasn't had a good year in a long time, and when he did have a good year, it wasn't like an amazing year.
Yeah.
Like he just won once and kind of hung in there in a lot of other events.
Yeah.
It's not like Scottie's year where you're like, Scottie's bad year would have been Ricky's best year ever. And
that would have been good enough for him to make the U.S. Open.
Yeah, exactly. And it would have been good enough for him to make the U.S. Open. Like, bad Scottie's going to make the U.S. Open, Yeah. Or, 100%. I guess, boring Scottie. It's some of these Scottie stands. That's going to easily make the U.S. Open. But, I don't mean to hate on Ricky, but I just
well, no, we're not at all. We're not. I want it for Ricky, bro. I want to see him make it. It's just, but yeah. I would say he's my surprising name too. Not that I'm surprised because he's not playing good golf, but like, it's like, dang, Ricky Fowler is really not playing in the U.S. Open.
Dude,
go ahead.
I was gonna say there's just some people you want to see there because like you want to see them in contention. You want to see them like compete with other big name guys, and Ricky is like kind of like a household name when it comes to golf, you know. And
100%.
Yeah, and we know what he could do. We knew how good he was, you know, in mid 2010s, you know. So
oh my gosh, yeah, with the bright orange on and the Puma hat, yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of iconic, so it's like we like to see that stuff. But I just hate to say that it's not like, oh wow, he's not playing in it, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll love to know your thoughts in the comments, and man, who's the most surprising person that's not playing in the U.S. Open that I listed off, or maybe that I didn't list off, man? We'd really love to hear that. But we have a special guest coming in pretty soon. Might not be special to y'all, but this is my dog. I've mentioned him
plenty of times.
Yeah, I've mentioned him plenty of times, man. He's been a huge supporter of Golf and Gospel podcast, Golf and Gospel, and just been a really good friend. So he'll be joining in soon. But again, please, guys, like, subscribe, rate us on Spotify, man. Let us know again. Hey, y'all are trash, bro. I'm not listening to this again. If that's the case, let us know so we can know what to do better. All right. But then if you are supporting us, man, let us know. Encourage me and Nate, bro. We seen the word in 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore, encourage each other and build each other up. Do that for us, bro, if you believe we're doing well. Oh, my dog. He's here.
Yo.
Hey.
What's happening?
What's good, bro? Hey, we got the homie Noah Reid. Was part of the early Golf and Gospel days, man. The All-American swimmer who almost quit. Go check out that episode. Hey, Noah, I already said it before you got on, but I appreciate you, bro. You've been a great friend supporting me as a person, supporting Golf and Gospel, bro. And I was like, hey, we got to get you on here, bro. We know how you feel about the game of golf, and we know how you feel about a specific player. We'll get into that in a second, guys.
Yes,
but
sir.
It's not debatable at all. But like, let's just talk about it, man. I want to ask you guys a question: who's having a better season this year in its totality, Rory or Scottie? Now, recently bias would say Scottie, but when we look at the beginning of the season, I even said it as much as I don't like him. I said Rory. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in its totality. Who's having a better season?
After Rory shot +9, I think
hurt a lot. Yeah,
because has Scottie missed a cut this year?
I don't know when last time Scottie missed a cut, bro. But he hasn't missed a cut because I think Scottie's worst finish was a T25 with Waste Management.
Yeah, so maybe if we minus the RBC, we can make a really strong
case
for Rory.
You got an argument, yeah.
Yeah, especially because he won. You know, we're talking about boring golf versus like, hey, these defining moments, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's why we watch sports,
right?
Rory won in one of those contentious moments, so you know that's like what makes an athlete an athlete. And that's why we watch sports. So if we minus RBC, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Noah?
Yeah, no, I want to hear your thoughts.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Can you guys hear
let's
me
go.
Okay?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
I think it's Scottie for sure.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you take the best tournament in the world, and Rory wins it. But I think you take winning percentage, like Nate was saying, right? It's his worst finish is T25, Scottie's.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? Like I don't even really think it's an argument. But
all right. Let me tell you guys why it's Rory. No, I'm playing. I just want to see them Scottie stands went crazy, dog. Like, it did. No, now I think what you said, Nate. If Rory didn't miss this cut, you had an argument here because both of them had 3 wins this year. Both have a major. Scottie with the PGA Championship, Rory with the Masters. Rory has 2 signature events.
That's what I'm saying.
2 signature events. Scottie has 1 signature event, but his win to Byron Nelson tied the record for the lowest round.
Yeah, so that's
with
the thing. Like he went so low that it's really hard to like dismiss that. You know.
Agreed, bro. But yeah, if if Rory didn't miss this cut, I think you had a fair argument. I think at the end of the day, you still give it to Scottie. But I wish I had I think my stat thing is on my phone, actually. But there was, like, this comparison of both of them, and it was, like, equal almost everywhere.
Oh,
like,
you
maybe
sent
like
that to me.
Did I? Yeah. Like, except, like, one category. Oh, damn. I got to find it then if I send it to you.
Here,
what would be career earnings, though? Just this year. We take career earnings.
Oh,
Scottie's
yeah.
definitely got to be ahead.
Yeah. I would think so, bro. I would think so for sure. Here it is right here. Let me turn this thing down. Yeah, here we go. So they had wins this year, both of them with 3. Starts this year. Scottie has more starts with 12. Rory has 9. Made cuts, 12 for 12 for Scottie. At the time of this, it was 9 for 9 for Rory, but now we know it's 9 and 10. Top 25s, 8 for Rory, 12 for Scottie. Top 10s, 5 for Rory, 9 for Scottie. Majors, they both have 1. And then secondly, they were talking about strokes gain comparison. Total, not total, excuse me. Yeah, total, Scottie's ranked 1, Rory's ranked 2. Off the tee, Scottie's ranked 2, Rory's ranked 1. Pro shot, not even close. Scottie's 1, Rory's 39th. Around the green, Scottie's 43, Rory's 41. Putting, Rory's 6, Scottie's 27th, and then scoring average is 1 and 2. So you had a kind of an equal balance. The only thing that they wash each other in is a pro shot, Scottie number 1 easily, and Rory's 39. Putting, Scottie's 27, but Rory was 6. So I think if he didn't miss this cut, bro, you had an argument. I think Scottie still would have edged him out. It would have been like one of those heavyweight fights. It's like, dang, this come down to the end, but I'm going to give it, the score tape's going to probably give it to Scottie.
Yeah, another thing, too, is, like, Rory didn't place that high at Valhalla, whereas, like, when Scottie was in the Masters, he got, like, 7th or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, Rory was, like, I think 30th or something like that. Like, he didn't finish that high at all, so
I agree.
Another point to Scottie there.
Yeah, I agree. Which I think everyone will say Scottie, but the stands will try to be like, oh, it's just easy. But I'm like, in reality, remove the RBC, it's actually pretty close, and I would edge it out.
Yeah, when you list out, especially when you listed out the stats like that, it's like, yeah, he might be way better in one category, but then Rory's way better than another, like putting.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. But all right, man, we get into our favorite part of the segment, predictions for the U.S. Open. Now, guys who don't know Noah, I already know what one of his answers is going to be. I'm going to kind of give it away. But, Noah, you are a huge Jordan Spieth fan, bro. I want to know, one, why you're a fan, and also, what do you like from him this year? Because I think he is getting better as the year is progressing. And what are you hoping to see as the year continues on for Jordan Spieth?
Yeah, I think to answer your first question, the reason why I'm a huge Jordan Spieth fan is when I played golf as a really young kid, and when I started to get back into it was like 2015 when he went on his tear.
Yeah.
So, and I grew up. You'll see it in my episode. I once had a dream of swimming for the University of Texas, so he was kind of a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Gross.
And so
Nate went to Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I didn't end up going there. So, but
thank God. Yeah.
There's just a lot of things like pulling me towards him. I mean, I play Titleist clubs because of Jordan Spieth.
Wow.
Just a lot of that. So I am a big fan.
Yeah.
What I think he's doing really well this year, I mean, I'm sure everyone has seen the clip of him almost drilling that poor dude in the face.
Yeah.
I think he is scrambling really well.
I agree.
And I think he's kind of done that throughout his career, is he scrambles really, really well. He's also T1 for lag putting this year.
Wow. Interesting.
And so when I get into my picks, I'll go into that because I think right now they're saying that Oakmont's going to be running at like a 15 on the stimp, which is nuts. So it's going to come down to lag putting, a lot of it.
We just talked about that before you got on,
Yeah, so I think that those are two things I think he's doing really well.
Yeah.
Something I think he's doing really poorly that I would love to see him kind of turn around, especially coming into this weekend, is off the tee. I mean, there are so many errant balls, and I mean, it's leading to a lot of good scrambling from him. But if we're hitting fairways, especially this week, holy cow, you got to hit fairways. Narrow, and the rough is nuts. So hitting fairways is really important. I think we get that down. I mean, he's a good putter. We've all seen some of his stupid clips of chipping and things like that. So.
Out the bunker. Me and Nate were saying last week, like, at this point, he might as well just aim for the bunker and birdie out the bunker, because he does that on a consistent basis.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah, I mean, I'm really hopeful this week. I was really hopeful for the PGA.
I know you were, bro.
That was a tough miscut, but yeah. I mean, everyone I think is all my buddies kind of, and I know Germ, you poke at me a little bit with Jordan, just like, oh, he's not having that great of a year, and man, I hit you back with the facts. Like, he does have two miscuts this year. I will give you that, and they were two big events: PGA Championship and the Genesis.
Yeah.
But we look at other big events. He was T7th at the Memorial, I think.
Nice.
He was T4th at Waste Management.
Mm-hmm.
He was 14th at the Masters, and he was 18th at RBC Heritage. So like, he's putting together, and it's been like, oh, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shoot 66 one day, and then the next day I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shoot 75. So if we could eliminate the 75, I really think he could be in contention week after week.
And he had a really good showing at the Byron Nelson too. I think he finished top 5, shooting 19 under, even though Scottie went like 32 under. But that was still a good finish him in his hometown. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, to your point, when it comes to like scrambling, especially at courses like Oakmont, where it's not going to be a big birdie fest. Like, he could do really well, just like, because when it's like not these big birdie fests, it's just like, hey, don't explode. If you stay around even, and scramblers usually do that, you can at least give yourself a chance going into the weekend or going into Sunday.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and especially there's like 2 or 3 short par 4s at Oakmont. Mm-hmm. So like, if you just get your drive near the green and your wedge play is great,
and we trust Jordan's wedge play.
We do, yeah. Or if you get in the bunker, right? If you get in the bunker up by one of those greens, on those short par 4s, we trust Jordan to get up and down and get a birdie on some of those. So
we do.
Even if he makes a bogey here and there, it's like, hey, you have 2 holes here to, like, I forget how many holes there are. There's some few short par 4s, but it's like, hey, you got 2 holes here to have a good look at birdie.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's a good point, man. Go ahead.
I also think, right, I listen to the No Laying Up podcast occasionally, and they had like highlighted all the differences that Oakmont has to offer versus like your other courses that you see at US Open, and there are like no trees.
Yeah, and we said, yep.
And so, and I'm sure you guys have already talked about like all there's bunker changes and things like that that are going on too. And so
church pews,
I think it plays into Jordan's strengths this week. Now, hey, I'm fingers crossed over here. I'm praying, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. But yeah, guys, people who've been consistently, on the Golf and Gospel Pod, I know the format. We pick 4 winners, 2 sleepers. I'm a generous guy. I'm going to let our guest Noah Reid give us his 4 predictions on why. And I will say, if one of them is Scottie, you don't have to go into great detail. We know why one would pick Scottie.
Yeah.
My wife was asking me before I came on who I was going to pick, so I'll caveat with, I don't think she's really pleased with my pick. She's been getting into the PGA more and more, and I'm actually going to take the stance of, I'm not going to pick Scottie. I'm not going to be that guy.
Okay, that's cool.
I do think he could definitely go out there and win.
100%, no question.
It's going to be a boring weekend if he does, because we all know he plays.
It will
golf.
be. You're there so right.
Yeah.
Now, I do love Scottie.
100%. All of us do.
Yeah. All right, my first pick, Justin Thomas. I'm a big stats guy. I love numbers.
We are over here too.
Yeah, he's leading the PGA Tour in putting averages.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking it based on just how this course is formatted. And how fast these greens are going to be. I think he's averaging like 1.68 putts per hole this year.
True.
So that's why I'm picking JT with my first pick.
Love it.
Geremy, you just want me to list them off?
Yeah, we can go. Let's go. Let's do this. All right, I'll go next, man. So, my first guy I got is I'm going Patrick Cantlay, man. I know that is a bit of a reach. But I think he has a clutch factor in him that hasn't been shown yet this year, but we've seen it at the Ryder Cup. We've seen it in numerous tournaments in the past. I think he's like a real stoic, stern guy. Like, I don't care, nothing bothers me. And I think if I believe he's going to win, he's obviously going to be paired with Scottie. So I think he will have no fear in him being paired with Scottie, unlike other golfers, at least from the outside looking in. I think. What are you saying, Noah?
Oh, I'm just going hats off. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
everyone's waving their hats.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I don't think he would fear Scottie. Not to say other golfers do, but like his body language shows like, bro, I'm not afraid of you, bro. Me and Nate have been saying this all year. This is the year of the irons. If your irons are not doing well, you kind of aren't like having a good season. And we look at Cantlay, where he's ranked in green regulation this year. He's ranked second. He's only missed one cut out of 12 events. In 3 of those events, he was in the top 10. The other events, he was in the top 25. Other 7 events, he was in the top 25. Now he has a solid birdie average ranking, 16th. But, truth be told, if his putter's not good at all, then there's going to be a risk factor there. So, with him being pretty good and getting his green regulations, he has to pin seek here. And I'm hoping he's able to pull that off. But I think Patrick Cantlay, a bit of a reach pick, but I think one that's he's capable of doing.
All right, dude. So, because we're kind of picking reaches, I got a reach.
Okay.
I don't know if this would be like one of those sleeper picks, but
okay.
Cam Young is my pick.
Oh, okay.
That is a reach.
Me and Torrance just had a talk about Cam Young. And Torrance is not a Cam Young fan at all. But
really?
Because Cam Young has no wins this year, and they always kind of overhype him, and he always kind of folds at the end. And Torrance made a good point because I was like, well, I love Colin Morikawa a lot. He kind of folds too, but he's like, yeah, but Colin's won on tour. And I was like, touche. You got a point.
Is this the tournament? Did Cam Young had to go through local qualifying?
Yeah, he beat Max Homa in the playoff. Yeah,
how cool would that be? So
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a little bit of a reach, but
yeah, for sure.
When I was watching the RBC today, I think Jim Nantz was saying how Cam Young was 19 for 20 on scrambles up until 18 when he didn't convert that chip shot. Mm-hmm. But it's like, so he got 4th at the RBC. So like, and he's 2 strokes away from the lead. So that doesn't reflect how capable he is because, you know, his strategy was different going into 18. He was being a little aggressive, and then it costed him a little bit. Mm-hmm. So so it doesn't reflect he was technically could have been second, you know, or I guess third, tied with Kevin Yu. Yeah. So he's playing really good golf right now, and he's scrambling really well, which I think will do him well when he plays at a place like Oakmont. So sleeper to win. I mean, dude, like if I was gonna pick someone to win, I think the obvious answer is Scottie. But
too easy and too boring for a podcast. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think Cam Young is watch out. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. Back to you, Noah. Who's your second one?
This is just straight out of fandom. And it's not actually who you think it is. I'm going Ludwig. If I could carbon copy a golf swing and put it in myself, it would be Ludwig hands down. Okay. I love his swing. Yeah. I think just the way he approached himself.
Actually. Yeah.
I don't agree. I think it's a bad pick. Really? Go ahead, Noah.
Okay.
Finish. You finish, and I'll tell you why.
No, for the swing part. I'll talk about for the swing part.
For swing, yeah. I'll take a swing anything. I'll take anybody's swing on PGA. Trash.
Yeah, true. Amen.
But no, go ahead. Yeah.
The way he approached himself leading up to the 24 Masters. It was his first time playing. His first time playing in the course. The way he approached the weekend, and I think he was like T5th or 6th that year, or something like
Masters,
that.
Yeah, he was better. Than this last year.
Yeah. I think Phil got second that year, which was plot twist.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I just think it's another tough golf course. Mm-hmm. It's technically his second time playing. He played in the US Am way back in the day.
Good point.
And he actually shot like 79. So let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my sleeper pick.
Yeah.
He has not been playing very well.
No.
And I'm sure Germ's about to remind me of that right now.
Well, no, you already said, so that's good. I think Ludwig's just a name, but when you we're all stats guys in here, and we look at his numbers, it's like he hasn't been playing that well, and if he does make the cut, it's like, oh, he finished 42nd. Outside of this week, RBC week, and I think last week he had a T16 or something. So it's progressively improving where it makes sense if he's trending. But yeah, I think that's solid. And that was a sleeper pick or a regular pick for you? No.
That was my sleeper, just based on how his year has gone. I mean, he won the Genesis, but other than that, I would say arguably he's not had a great year. I don't know how many cuts he's missed, but I feel like it's up there for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go with my sleeper then, and before I go back to my actual winner pick, I'm a little hesitant now because of the way he just finished, and I've been picking him in the last 2 weeks as a sleeper because, well, last week I picked him as the actual winner. The week before was sleeper. Sam Burns, bro. His putting continued being his main thing. He's #1 putter on tour. Unfortunately, it didn't show in the playoff against Ryan Fox, but as a brother in Christ, Sam Burns, and I hope short-term memory plays a huge part here, and you go out there and you hit some greens because he said he's starting to simplify his iron game. Again, year of the irons this year. And it showed for the most part throughout the tournament. Like he shot a round 4 of 62, had a lot of green in regulations. One of the bigger hitters on tour, one of the higher driving accuracies on tour as well. So if he can continue to simplify his irons as well as continue to putt like he's #1 putter, excluding the playoff at the RBC, I think he's a really good sleeper to pick.
I do like that pick. I'm sure you guys already talked about it.
I think Sam's good.
For everyone here, I'm joining halfway through, so I didn't hear everything that they talked about. Good, but I think, I mean, Germ and I were texting about it, and he shouldn't have gone for the green on the 4th playoff hole. And so I think he was kind of forced into it a little bit and didn't necessarily play his game, which, like Germ had mentioned, right, his irons have been nice. And so just keep on keeping on, trusting the process.
Yeah, especially his last 3 weeks, his iron play has definitely got better. Because, like, me and Nate talked about, I forgot which tournament Scottie won, but when he was talking to Amanda Amanda Balanunis, how you say last name?
I think it's Balionis, yeah.
Yeah. She was like, yo, if you could switch anything with Scottie right now, what would it be? And Sam was like, oh, irons for sure. And then when she asked Scottie that, he was like, oh, I'll give me Sam's putter. So they obviously are bouncing off each other. And we just talked about how Scottie's ranked, 26 in putting or something like that, which would be even scarier if he was ranked 1. Like, I probably wouldn't even watch golf because it was just been too easy at that point. But yeah, Sam Burns would be my first sleeper, with my other person being my winning category will be Patrick Cantlay. But yeah, go ahead, Nate. Sleeper pick.
Dude, I don't think Sam Burns is a sleeper pick at all. Like, I was going to have him.
If he would have won, he wouldn't have been a sleeper. But no,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
No, but one of my sleeper picks, dude, and this is a little bit of a fandom going down Noah's line of reasoning. But Phil.
Oh, okay. I think it was Victor Hovland. Okay.
No, Victor was going to be a real pick, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Phil Mickelson?
Phil Mickelson, dude.
Wow, lefty. He completes the career Grand Slam this week. Is what you're saying?
That's one of the reasons.
Wow.
He got 4th at
LIV this week in Virginia. He did.
Yeah, so he was playing he was contending with like the Brysons of the world. He
was.
So, and we all know his wedge game is on point, like it's always been. Yeah. So, especially with these very fast runoffy greens, like he has the ability to stop it and control the ball. So maybe a sleeper pick.
Sleeper for sure. You hope you wake everybody up.
Yeah, if he makes the cut, man, that would be awesome too.
That's
but
huge,
it would also be awesome to see him complete the Grand Slam just as a lifelong golf. Phil was dominating when I was in elementary school, and I remember like getting his autograph. It was like the coolest thing ever. So
yeah, Arizona State guy, right?
Yep, Arizona State guy.
Yeah,
and I'm a lefty, so that's why.
Yeah, Noah went to University of Arizona, so there's some beef.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But also, too, I don't know if y'all both realize this, both of you guys are lefties, which is also cool.
Oh, really?
I didn't realize that.
It's very rare. It's very rare that the right-handed person is the outlier in the room.
Yeah, you're outnumbered. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I like when I grew up though, I gripped the club like Phil did because like there was like a magazine cover where it was like Tiger versus Phil, and like Phil was gripping it like this with like a overlap, and then Tiger was gripping it with an interlock. And my brother's right-handed, I'm left-handed, so my brother does interlock because he saw Tiger do it, And when I saw Phil go overlap, so I do overlap, and it's like we literally modeled it after the best 2 players in the world at the time. So fandom pick.
Yeah, very interesting pick too, because like I said, I've been watching this YouTube channel called ESN. They were talking about the last time Phil had a chance at the U.S. Open, like the collapse he had on the last hole, because he tried to go driver where he should have went just like iron or something. He like duck hooked it, and then the second shot he like hit a tree. So you hope the momentum carries into this weekend, like he tries. Not to say he's not, but you kind of hope. But that's fine. Noah, get into your second real pick.
I like that Phil pick. That chip that he had in
today
this weekend was amazing. Disgusting.
Over his shoulder. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was so nice. Okay, next pick. I feel like this is a really safe pick. I'm going Bryson. I think everyone's got to play out of the stupid long rough this weekend. The further down you are, I feel like the better chance you're going to have at making birdies, scraping by with par. And we all know how hard and how far that dude hits the golf ball. So
100%.
That's why I'm picking Bryson, just sheerly how far he hits it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you swing faster, it helps you get through the rough easier too. So
he has a great swing speed.
Higher club head speed. Yeah.
Good point. I'm actually going to take that pick from you too, Noah. And I almost didn't pick him, but I'm going to pick him. My reason is every major, for the most part, he's been like part of like those last 2 or 3 final pairing groups. And he's been having some phenomenal chipping. His issue at these majors, his putting has been horrendous. Horrendous, bro. Like, we talked about how we were hoping to get this heavyweight fight at the Masters with him and Rory, and it came down to him and Justin Rose because Bryson just could not putt. And it's crazy, too, because I looked this up, too. We see him get numerous top 10s on the LIV, but his putting average on LIV is 1.58. And the lowest putting average on the PGA, as you just alluded to, Noah, is Justin Thomas with 1.658. So I don't know if it's something about LIV being casual because it's not as much stress. You already paid. I think those guys are trying to win. Don't get me wrong. But the average that he has on LIV with 1.58 is not correlating to the majors by any means. So that was like almost my fear of not picking him. But then again, I think there's a humble pride in him saying, I want to repeat. And I think he has put some emphasis knowing that those first 2 majors, what has let him down is putting. I think he's probably exaggerated like his work ethic in it. And then I think he came out with that video on YouTube of him playing at Oakmont. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure the time he spent there, he had to work on putting. So safe pick for sure. I almost didn't pick him with well reasoning, but I think I gave well reasoning why, you should pick Bryson.
For sure. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I was back and forth on it as well. Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was like telling you. Like, if it's super casual, it's a little bit easier to make a putt. That's what, like, that's kind of what we were saying about Sam Burns earlier before Noah hopped on about like how Sam Burns might be number 1 putting because he's putting for 20th versus, where Scottie is putting for first. Like all these putts have a lot more weight to it. Yeah. And it definitely impacts their performance. And again, no hate to Sam, but
no, none at all. We love Sam. Love Sam Burns.
Yeah, but it's just it's objectively true to some extent that hey, if you're putting for first, it's a significantly harder putt, regardless of how the putt looks. Right. So, anyways, dude, I was actually gonna pick Joaquin as a real pick, bro.
Yeah. I love it, bro. And Noah, we said this earlier before you got on, bro. Joaquin just teases me every time. Pause. But it's literally because before every major, he wins that LIV tournament and looks amazing. So I'm just like, he's going to bring it here at the PGA Championship or the Masters, and he doesn't. But give me your reason why, Nate. I love Joaquin,
dude. So you might actually start talking me out of it here in a second, but like, because I never watched the LIV before the majors. I don't watch LIV a whole lot, but this week when I watched, I was like, yo, he looks good.
Yeah,
he looks like he's hitting the ball far and straight.
Yeah,
we all knew he could hit the ball far.
Yeah,
but Yeah, he looks like he was hitting the ball far and straight. He can scramble pretty well. Like I just think he's a dog, dude. And he plays ping, so like I got a little fandom. A little bit. All my picks are gonna be a little bit of fandom. So
yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But I think he's a great player. His swing looks better and better every year. I swear.
It does. He has like that little weird like.
Well, he had that, and it's like going. It goes. It's like now it's not as like pronounced where he like has a head dive or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just looks so good. It looks better and better every year. So,
I think it's a good pick, bro.
Pick, dude.
I think it's a good pick. I'm just scared to pick him, but I think it's a good pick. And predicting golf winners are hard unless again, your name is Scottie, or if we're betting LIV, you're betting Joaquin. Because we talked about this.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like when you said that to me, I was like, "Yo,
it's true. It's true.
He knows how to win."
Yeah. No, we said earlier there have been 8 LIV tournaments. Guess how many wins Joaquin Nieman got on LIV this year?
I think it's like 4 or 5.
He has half of them, bro. He has 4. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. They're not scrubs on the LIV,
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah.
But you do cut down the field. Like it's not that as many.
It's
players.
50, 54, 55, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you're playing from the cut in.
Yeah.
But still, there's still a good amount. You still got to be.
You definitely do subtract like the Thomas Dietrichs of the world where they just have a hot weekend. Or like some other good player that just Nick Taylor who just has an amazing weekend, or I guess like several amazing weekends. Like you have to fight for those spots, but or Seamus Power, right? Like it's like he just has an amazing weekend and wins and beats Shane Lowry. So you take out some of those guys in the field, so it is I don't want to say easier to win, but that does factor into it.
It does. All right, give us your one more real win, because I think we all got Scottie. It's kind of easy, but who's your one more real winner pick, and then we'll go back around, then last sleeper pick.
All right, that was a good segue, Nate, because I'm gonna pick Shane Lowry. And here's where I know Jerem's gonna give me some grief on this one too. Just on his last what round was it this weekend where he kind of just started to fall
he did.
off. Yeah, but
wasn't that today?
Yeah. Oh, it was today?
I think so.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
At hole 9 he made bogey. Oh, yeah, he was leading on, then he made bogey on hole 9. Yeah.
2 reasons. Last time U.S. Open was played in Oakmont, 2016, he teed second.
Ooh.
Really?
Really. Now, the other thing I'm thinking of is I just feel like Shane Lowry comes out here on a random weekend every year, and he goes out and wins. Now this is not
true.
It's not a random weekend. It's a major weekend.
For
I
sure.
get that, but
it could be a random.
Yeah.
For him, it could be very random. So yeah, I got Shane this weekend.
I haven't been high on Shane because of his putting. We looked at the stats last week. We categorized how like all of the guys in the top 5 were like high in green and regulation, and one of the guys in like the top 5, 6 was Shane. But what separated him from the guys who were in the top 5 standings was his putting, because he was like maybe 4th in green and reg, but he was not putting well. So I've always been kind of nervous for him. Also, even like when I went back and watched the Zurich, him and Rory wasn't putting that well either. What week was it? Was it PGA Championship? The mud ball week. Had to be PGA Championship. He wasn't putting good then either. And I'm just like, man, Shane, you just gotta get good on the green, because you're getting there, but you're not capitalizing there. But
it's
again, this could be the random weekend that, because he made a couple equal putts this week. So I'm like, okay, maybe the putting's starting to come down. But again, it is Oakmont, and we're talking about rolling at 15 right now. So, but we'll see. I
like that being from
Oh yeah, if he's a good lag putter, links off. Yeah,
just like link style coming from Ireland. I mean, I hate the stereotype, but like, it's just. It's link style courses. It's always blowing really hard, and it's always rolling fast out there. So like, that might serve him well.
Yeah, that's fair. My next pick, again, like I said, Sky's one of those, but I'm not going to waste our time. Accuracy, as we've talked about, is key at Oakmont. And if we're looking for a tee accuracy, who is that? Give me Mr. Morikawa, man. He's second behind Aaron Rai. We talk about Aaron Rai all the time. Two-glove Aaron Rai. Huge fan of two-glove Aaron Rai. But Kyle Morikawa has a 72.87% drive accuracy, and he's top 10 with strokes gained total, and he's ranked 2 in par 3 scoring and 3rd in birdie average. And he has Max Homa's old caddy on his back full time, and I like that guy, Joe Grinner.
Yeah, with the beard.
Yeah, I like that guy, and I think they've already played enough tournaments together where maybe they figure it out this week, and hopefully Colin's back in the winner's circle. Colin has way too many second and third places since his last victory, I think 2 years ago. So I'm hoping this week at Oakmont he figures it out. And he's been pretty decent out of the rough as well. He's been missing, I think, more right rough than left. We saw that when he lost to Russell Henley, kept missing to the right. But I think Colin has a solid chance this week.
Are you worried about him being able to close?
That's always going to be a fear, and especially if we're talking Scottie. Your pair with Scottie is definitely because there's no safe shots with Scottie, because we already said Scottie can match any shot that you do. So you have to limit the mistake. And if he does make a mistake, it goes back to my whole point. Scottie doesn't have to outduel anybody because everyone's making mistakes. He can just play clean, boring golf. No one has forced Scottie to like sit here and be like, "Hey man, I need you to knock it 5 feet from the pin." He hasn't had to. Like, he can just be like, "Well, I'm in the middle of the fairway. You're trying to hit from behind this green. I'll just knock it a safe 2-putt here." Or in my case, I'm up 6 strokes. I'll just knock it where I can just lag putt the first 2 and 3-putt and get out of here. But that is my fear. No, if he gets there, will he be able to close against someone like Scottie? Because I'm pretty sure he'd be paired with him.
But he could win. Like if Sam Burns would have won today, he could have just been sitting in the clubhouse and like, "Oh, I won." You know, like But if Sam Burns would have, But Fox
based on based on the field at RBC, are we expecting other golfers like a Victor Hovland, JT, or Scottie to like let the lead still be what it is with 6 more holes to go? Highly doubt it. They're gonna close that gap quick.
I just don't know if the course. I don't know if the course will allow it, if someone has such a big lead, like if they just go shoot a freaking 62 in the last day. At Oakmont, like that's really hard to touch, dude. Like 8 under at a U.S. Open will be so
crazy
hard to touch, right? So
100%.
Someone's like even going in the last day, and they're, the 10th from last pairing, like, and then they shoot a 62.
Yeah.
Or like Colin in this case, like shoots 62.
Yeah.
Could be just sitting there like, oh wow, I guess I won.
Yeah. Fair statement.
All right. So if he wants to avoid the closing, let's see, my real pick, dude. Like, I don't want to pick Scottie. I mean, I guess Scottie.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we said about like when people bet. It's like pick a person to score a touchdown that's not Saquon Barkley. Like we know Scottie's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I didn't bring this up earlier. Did you see that Scottie like? If you bet on Scottie Scheffler this year in the PGA, you would have made more money than if you would have put your money in the S&P 500, which is like a sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can also get out of national debt if you put like $14 billion.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, that's right. If you put, I guess Joaquin Nieman is doing.
If you bet him on
S&P
LIV.
500 is here, Scottie Scheffler's here, Joaquin Nieman's up
on
here.
LIV, yeah, absolutely. People are gonna hate that. Anything that's not like based on Scottie, they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, but dude, real pick. Let's go, Victor Hovland.
Yeah, I know it.
Week 2, picking Victor Hovland, just because of fandom. I like the guy. He likes metal music, so which is different. That's different. That's almost like a LIV thing to like metal music and play golf. Yeah.
Your whole thing with him, you just gotta hope his short game is going, because that's been like his knock throughout his career. It's like, oh, he doesn't have a really good short game.
Yeah.
And I think like when he beat JT made it easy for him. Because Victor had the
that's
3-putt.
JT. Yeah. JT gave it away.
He did.
Yeah, if Victor Hovland could scramble like Spieth, he might be a real dangerous player. But but he hits the ball really well. You know, he hits his driver really well. I have no reasoning. I just like the guy. He's won already this year.
He does have a win
this year.
I don't like his swing. His swing's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, he has like a real like bent front elbow when
it's
he hits the ball.
It's kind of how he finishes too. Like,
it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you impact the ball, you want. You say what?
I thought he changed swing coaches right before the season this year. No, and his first 3 starts were terrible.
Bro,
and everyone was like,
"See, this is I'm not going down a rabbit hole, but that's what made me mad because Max Homa switching his swing and stuff makes sense because outside of last year's Masters, Max did nothing. So he's like, I have to change something. That 2023 year that Victor Hovland had, it was like, what are you changing stuff for? What are you tinkering for, bro? You were on pace to I say this with a grain of salt, to push Scottie for #1 golfer. The way you ended, it was crazy. And he said,
he was up there.
Yeah, he said, you know what? That was a great year. Let's change everything. I'm like, what? Why? Yeah. Homa has reason. I don't know about switching from Titus to Cobra, but in terms of swing changes, Max Homa has a reason for everything he did. Victor doesn't.
Yeah.
But, let's see what he does.
Victor's swing is weird, though, because, when you hit impact, you want your front elbow to be straight-ish, you know? Mm. And his elbow is, bent.
Yeah.
Very clearly bent when he hits it. But it's, they're so different that I like it.
He's a ping guy.
He's a ping guy. No. So, did I tell you why I like Victor?
Not fully.
So, it was when he was in college, I think. He was playing the USAM. There was, an interview. And this is when I was in college. So, everyone's like, oh, this guy from Oklahoma State's playing in, it might have been a PGA event. And then someone asked him a question. I can't remember what the question was. But then it was, a meme when he was all like, I would tell them to lay off the weed.
Oh, no. I think I remember that. Oh, you know what? It's funny. I didn't realize that's him. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him. That's funny.
My teammates were like, dude, look at this guy. This guy's hilarious. And I was like, I like that guy. So,
that's funny,
but,
bro.
yeah, so that's when the fandom started. And then now I'm just like, yo, every week I'm picking Victor Hovland to win it. Let's go.
That's cool. I'm okay with that. Again, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, rate us, man. Let us know who your picks are for the U.S. Open. Let's get into our last sleeper pick. Kick it back off to the homie, Noah.
Yeah, this is a big sleeper, I would say.
That's fine.
I'm going Rasmus Højgaard.
Wow. Avenge his brother not making
his brother?
Yeah.
Exactly. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about Bryson, right? Everybody's got to play out of this deep rough. Mm-hmm. He is 5th on driving distance this year.
Nice.
So I'm thinking
the Højgaards hit the ball well, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. They pound it. Now, with that being said, his last 2 starts have been atrocious.
Right.
This weekend he was T43, and then PGA Championship he was T67. So
making
that's
cuts,
why
though.
he's making cuts, but not
making an impact in
yeah, for sure. So that's going to be my last sleeper.
I think that's a great sleeper pick, a really good one. Avenge your brother. You should put his brother on the bag.
So he should.
Yeah, because didn't they played really well together, Zurich, when they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should put his brother on the bag, man. That would have been awesome. Yeah, I like that pick. My last sleeper pick, man, when me and Nate did our draft for our players, I think I picked this guy in the 5th round. He has the record for the lowest round in the history of PGA. Hideki Matsuyama, bro. We talk about how many bunkers are here at this course. We talk about the Church Pews bunkers. I need someone who's able to get out of the bunkers. Sand Save Tour average is 58.23. Hideki is 73.6. And he's number 4 in saves around the green, and he's number 3 inside 100 yards. So those approach shots are going to be good. Again, just like I kind of said with Kenley, you got to go pin seeking, though, which I think, again, number 3 inside 100 yards, he's capable of doing. But them sand saves are going to be huge, man. I don't think he's Spieth sand save, but, Hideki can definitely get the job done.
Hey, nobody's Spieth.
Nobody's Spieth. Oh, man. Dude, I don't know. For sleeper, I don't know who I would want. I feel like I'm just going to go with someone I want because I feel like there's, easy guys to pick.
Yeah.
I think Bryson. I actually think Rory's kind of a good pick because he is such a good driver of the ball.
It's funny we didn't mention Rory once.
I know we didn't pick him. Dude, I also am like, it's also like, if I was gonna put money down on who not to win this week,
there you go.
To say it, but it'd probably be Rory. It would
yeah,
probably be
I'm
Rory.
with you.
Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't put money like that's like for Scottie. It's like, don't ever do that. Don't ever bet that, right? Like, don't ever put money on Scottie to not win.
Yeah.
You know, because he's gonna win just to spite you. Like,
yeah,
that's why he's gonna win.
He's gonna get like a Spidey sense, like, this dude in Phoenix didn't pick me.
Pick me. Well, here's this win, so he loses $50 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Rory, like, he would be my pick to not win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of want to say DJ just because he's done it once here.
Wow. Back in 2016 where Shane got his second place. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow.
Going off, like, when Noah said that, I was kind of like, well, wasn't it that, DJ won that week. It's really hard to pick a LIV guy, even though I picked Waco to win. I guess, and like Bryson is also a good pick too, but
for sure,
it's really hard to pick a LIV not good player because I don't think DJ got top 10 this weekend on LIV.
No, he only has one top 5 out of the 8 events, bro. He's not having that crazy of a year at all. I mean, he's 40. He's kind of cooling it. Like, maybe him playing here will be nostalgic, turning on.
Like he snaps out of it. It's like a little.
Yeah. Maybe. I think that's solid. But hey, guys, again, if you're listening, let us know if you know your thoughts on our pick. There's a lot of names we didn't pick. We didn't pick John Rahm. We didn't pick Xander Schauffele. We didn't pick Brooks Koepka, which I think in reasoning with that one. We didn't pick Tommy Fleetwood, Sung J M, Matt Fitzpatrick, Adam Scott, Tyrell Hatton, Minwoo Lee, Justin Rose, Tony Finau, Cam Smith over him, Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, Cam Smith, dude. He shot like 2 under this weekend, though.
I don't care what Cam doing at LIV, man. Like you said, before Hideki beat that record, who held that record at the Century? Cam Smith. And then, like you said, every time he gets on national television, he's shooting +4. It's like, bro, we're not trying to see that right now, man. We're not trying to see that at all. But yeah, guys, again, let us know who you guys believe is going to win this week. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and rate us on Spotify. It's funny because I did have one more question, but Nate kind of already took it away from us. And that last question was, Dustin Johnson's first major was here at Oakmont. Does he have a chance? And I guess as a sleeper pick, you think he has a chance. But I would love to hear Noah's opinion. Do you think Dustin Johnson has a chance, let's say, to crack the top 10 here?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, me neither.
I feel like there were almost 2 types of people that went to LIV. There were people who are getting old, didn't really care to compete anymore. They just wanted Poulter, the bag.
Phil Mickelson,
yeah.
Poulter was almost thought,
I would even argue Phil's still being pretty dang competitive.
Yeah.
We talk about his Masters finish
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
T2. Him and Brooks
still competing. Yeah. And so I just think DJ was one of the guys on LIV that didn't really care about competing. That just wanted the bag, and he even said, I think on Full Swing, like he just was at the point where he wanted to spend more time with his family and get the money. Like it's guaranteed money. And so I don't see him doing much this weekend. No offense, Nate.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking it. It's just I just know that he won, and I'm like, I like right before I hopped on here, I just saw like highlights of him like just smoking drives, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
If there's any semblance of vintage DJ, like he was #1 player in the world at one point,
Yeah.
If there's any semblance of it, and we all know like memory and contextual factors can help trigger. Contextual factors can help trigger memory.
Okay.
So maybe this course does that. Granted, he's played Augusta a million times, and that didn't help. But
yeah. But this was his first major win, so maybe that does something.
Kicks him back into
Yeah, I'm just
a
like
sleeper
Noah.
pick, dude.
It's a sleeper pick. You're right.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I want him to do well too. But sorry, what?
Yeah, I just feel like there are a million other names to pick over him, which is fine. Make this controversial. Make me argue with you because I thought you could have picked.
I know, dude.
Russell Henley, Tommy Fleetwood, Tony Finau.
Well, it's like
Dustin.
Yeah,
Johnson.
if you pick Scottie, no one cares, and
no one's cares.
Even I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too easy.
But
too easy to pick Scottie.
DJ, it's like, yo, let's just. I was also like, let's just remind everybody. Which, granted, I guess you were gonna do that, so I'm sorry I jumped the gun. But like, let's just remind everybody that the last time we were here, DJ won, and he was hitting bombs off the tee.
Yeah. Fair statement. But again, hey guys, appreciate you guys watching or listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast. Also, be on the lookout for Golf and Gospel episodes on Golf and Gospel YouTube. And we thank you guys again. Shout out to the homie Noah Reid for just taking the time. He's in Kansas, so he's on a 2-hour difference. So I appreciate him staying up to be here with us. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Golf and Gospel, which I think the next event will be the Travelers, which is the last signature event on tour. So see you guys later. Peace.